This is English. We don't have words for practical things.
I'm doing great today, guys.
No power tomorrow, hopefully. It's like a snow day, but it's a wind day, and I really hope it happens.
Yeah.
I hope it happens for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have to actually go to class tomorrow because we're reviewing for the final for classes that I haven't gone to in a month, so.
I'll probably be writing those 2 chapters of my thesis tomorrow when they're due today.
Yeah, I'm also going to be finishing my seminar paper this week just so that I have it, like, done. But I'm on the legal analysis part, which is my least favorite part, so I don't want to do it.
Oh, you mean the law?
Yeah.
Which is what you're in school
I know.
for?
It's all con law. I'm tired. I know it. I just need to, like, write it, you know? I know it all. Like, it's fine. I still want to do it. Because I'm tired, as we've already discussed, so.
Update, Shannon's tired, which should not be shocking or news to anyone.
No, not at all. Yeah, my exhaustion is apparently a weekly thing now. And it hit me today, and I took a 4-hour nap today after being awake for about 2 hours, so.
Can I tell my story about my diseased butt?
Yes.
That made it sound like I have a problem. But okay, let me restart.
You might.
I was in Vermont at my aunt and uncle's okay, first of all, they bought my dream house. It's so gorgeous. It's, like, nestled in the mountains. Their neighbors are cows. They have a huge field, but also the biggest, most beautiful oak trees I've ever seen in my entire life. Their house is from, like, 1806 or something, and it's just a big, beautiful farmhouse. It's brick. It has a servant staircase. That's not the one I fell down. And then it has a beautiful winding staircase that goes up stairs, obviously. Sorry. Anyway, I was coming down those in the morning, and I was wearing socks because, you know, it's, like, fucking cold in Vermont in November. But on, like, stair number 5, my feet just kind of disappeared. And I flew down the rest of the stairs and landed square on the right side of my butt. And now I have a bruise that is about the size of my hand that is today purple and black and a little bit of green on the end.
And she keeps sending us pictures of her butt, so that's fun too.
It's the part that you would see if I were in a bikini. I don't feel bad about it.
I know. I
understand that I'm not a bikini person, nor do I have a bikini personality. However, I just felt like sharing my injury with you because it's pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
Also, my shoulder really hurts because I wrenched that falling down, but I don't have anything to show for that besides my pain.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
That end. Oh, also, oh my god, we played Hunt-A-Killer. Mm-hmm. So much fucking fun. Highly recommend. Sponsor our show, please. We'll do ads for you. I've played it personally, and I love it. Give us money.
Yeah. I was just about to ask if you were still there, Shelby, but then you groaned sadly, so I found you.
I'm here.
Sorry, I'm boring. Jeez Louise.
No, I'm, like, barely awake, and I definitely found my topic 5 minutes ago, so.
This should be fun then.
Cool.
Like I said, it's going to be a disaster of an episode. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm excited.
To those people listening, I work at a store in a mall, and it's Black Friday weekend, so I just worked 3 11-hour shifts in a row because stupid teenagers like to just not show up for their jobs. And I swear to God, if someone calls off tomorrow and I get called in on my one day off, I'm gonna murder someone. And then we can talk about me on the podcast. Anyway.
So, guys, we're now a permanent duet. Shall we in trouble?
She'll be in jail, but we'll have a fun interview with her later.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time.
Yeah. My mom said
don't
she
work
drove
retail.
Yeah. My mom
That's
works back behind the mall, and she said it was less busy than a normal Black Friday, but I'm sure it was still busy.
It was, but our store is so small that our capacity is 10 people total.
I heard. Yeah, because Mom
Which-
and Allie saw you the other day. So Mom
Yeah,
was
they
like, we had to
did.
wait in line. And I was like, well, what
They
did you think was
did.
going to happen?
Well, no. Oh, fuck. Sorry. I just launched my nail polish across the room. Don't know where it went. Shelby, I was wearing a sweater from your store yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
No. Yeah.
It's cool.
It was Harry Potter themed.
Nice.
Excuse me.
The end. All right. Let's do this.
Yeah, can we go ahead and
It
get
is
started?
9
Let's
o'clock
not.
here.
Yeah, it might also be a short episode. I don't really know where this is going to take us, so...
That's why I was
Great.
talking about my butt, but you guys acted like it was a, I don't know, travesty.
Look, I'm not entirely sure I'm awake right now, so... Here we go.
I want to be asleep, so...
Oh my god. Should we just...
No, we have to do it today.
Okay, fine.
We literally
fine.
have to do it today. I am not
I'm
letting
not
this
going to have
go.
power tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hannah might not have power. Shannon's in law
I have to
school, and
edit.
it's finals time.
There's a
so,
wind
like,
coming up the coast.
Yeah, and I have finals starting on December 9th, which is in 9-ish days, and I'm not prepared. So, no, we are doing this today.
All right.
Look, everyone's already used to my episodes being a disaster. It's fine.
It's
Shelby,
fine.
introduce this shit.
Yeah.
Hi, people. This is the Triad, where we're spooky but sensitive. I'm Shelby. Okay.
I'm Hannah.
I'm Shannon.
Awesome.
I looked at it and got confused.
Okay.
Okay, what is wrong with me?
It's fine.
Okay.
Okay, I don't think we have any announcements beyond what we've already discussed. I don't anyway.
But announcements and Black Friday and Shannon's Tired.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That should
Alright,
just be
I
a
think we're-
permanent announcement until, well, actually no until, just permanently. That's just how I am.
It
think it'll
definitely-
never not be.
Yeah. Even with, very strong sleep medication, I am still always tired, so. Just how I
Feel
am
that.
as a person. It's fine. Okay. What are we talking about today, Shelby?
We're going to talk about the Bennington Triangle.
I have no
In
idea
Vermont?
what that is.
Yeah, in Vermont.
Dude, I was literally just there. Not in Bennington. I was,
In Vermont.
I don't actually know where I was. I gotta look that up. Where the frick was I?
Somewhere.
I know
Well-
the town, but I'm not gonna say it.
Maybe Hannah can help then with.
Yes, I
so.
know all about Vermont. My grandma lives on the border, and now my aunt and uncle live there.
There you
It's
go.
literally on the their town. It's so on the border that the closer grocery store is actually in New York.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
But my grandma lives near Bennington.
Also, for sources, I'm straight up using Wikipedia.
Cool.
I said that really weird.
Wikipedia.
I don't know.
She's Australian.
I mean, I did have an Australian accent until I was 10, so here we are.
I have finally broken out of my Montanan accent. However, the Southern Illinois one has stuck, and I hate it. And I hate all of you.
No one wants a Southern Illinois accent.
Shut
I'm
the hell your mouth.
completely stuck with it, so.
Well, you were born into that garbage, so.
I know.
All right, so look up Hoosick Falls. That's where my grandma lives.
Okay. I won't,
Okay.
but okay.
Well, I'm just
real
saying,
quick
you can
with
see
the
how close
accent
it is to
thing.
Bennington.
What?
Hannah, we already talked about that.
I know. I just want you to see that I know the area.
What is happening?
I don't know.
I'm
just
trying to
shut up.
talk about how I mispronounce things, because usually you guys enjoy laughing at me about that, but
Oh
apparently
yeah,
that's not what we want to
what
do
does
right
our band do every couple of years? What do we do in high school? What kind of a
now. Oh, a
trip did
tour.
we take? A band
tour.
tour. Like you tore the piece of paper.
Uh-huh.
Tour.
Tour.
It's a tour.
No, that's
Tour.
pretentious pronunciation. That's not
No,
how you say that.
that's normal pronunciation. Although,
Okay, I also say ol and toilet now. I'm over enunciating so that you can hear it. Instead of
How?
oil, I say olive oil.
wait,
It's
why?
getting worse. I don't know.
I don't
And say
understand how it's getting
toilet.
worse.
You
'cause live in
moved
Chicago.
north,
I
Shannon.
know.
Oh my god.
But then
I
I,
don't
also
get
sometimes
that.
sound like I'm from Chicago. I don't know.
My sister, because she went to college in Minnesota and then moved to South Dakota, she has the most, like, Minnesota, almost
does.
Canadian
It's
accent.
hilarious. What's the other one? Oh, the fire thing. But when I'm thinking about fire, I say it correctly. But when I'm not,
Fire.
yeah, it sounds like far.
I do that too. I also say flower wrong. Sometimes I'll say flower.
Flour.
Flour.
That's
Well, now I'm
those
thinking
are like,
about it, so I'm saying it right.
It's those
Apparently,
vowels that
I
come before
say
R's. that
root beer
freak me
weird.
out.
That's
What do you
the
say
only one I
weird,
could
Shelby?
think of. Root beer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
rut, like a rut in the road.
No, it's a
What's-
root.
Root.
No.
No, it's a root.
What's the one
A
that your
root.
mom gets mad about?
Roof.
Is it roof? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
roof. And her logic is flawed.
It
What-
really
what-
is. And
They
she
don't point
admits
out
it
to
when
her
you
that
point
her
it
logic
out.
is
She's like,
flawed.
no, I understand that it's stupid. She gets mad if people call it a roof.
No,
Because
she
it's-
says. I thought she wants you to say rough, and she gets. mad
That's
when people
right.
say
She
roof.
calls it a
Yeah.
roof, but if someone calls it a roof,
You know what drives me up the
Because
fucking
what does she
wall?
say? It's not a. She says book. She says it's rough. Like, what is?
yeah,
what's
because
the
she
word?
says it's like book and not
Roof.
book, and I'm like, but pool.
pool and tool are worse.
Yeah, so
God, English is stupid and we should get over it. I was literally just complaining to Emma. I was like, why don't we have a specific word? Because I know in like, I don't know, like some
German.
Scandinavian language, there's a word that they have different pronouns that shows the first he you were talking about in a sentence, and then another
Ooh.
one to indicate that you were talking about a second he in a sentence.
That would be helpful.
that would
I
be
know, and I was
so
like, why don't
nice.
we have that?
Yeah.
And then also, why don't we have a word that indicates that a sibling is older or younger than you? Like,
Yeah.
why isn't there a word that when you say it, you just know that it's older brother or younger brother? Because I'm writing right now about a middle brother, and he's trying to describe the other two, and I'm like, that is so fucking confusing.
Yeah.
And why can't
Yeah.
we just have a word that means older brother or
Yeah.
younger
They
brother?
have that in Japanese.
Why don't we have that? We could borrow we borrow other words from everyone. English isn't even a real language. It's just a mishmash of everything else.
You're not wrong.
I know I'm not wrong. I took Middle English. It's bullshit.
I mean, I
do have
just majored in linguistics, so.
I just speak English. Like,
All right, well, we're clearly all experts. Anyway, the word that drives me up the fucking wall is when people say woof instead of wolf.
Who says that?
Have you not heard people say that?
no.
No.
Oh my god.
Who says that?
It's-
God.
Like,
I
Lots
would-
of people
Originally.
do. Lots of dumb people.
Okay, anyway, Bennington Triangle. It is an area in Vermont.
Wait a minute.
Oh god.
I think I do know about this.
Probably.
Does this involve a forest
What?
with a haunted or a ghost town?
Yeah, I mean, there are some, like, ghost towns there.
Okay, then yes, I definitely know about this, and
Okay.
I have planned a trip there with my cousin. All right, let's go. Keep going. Sorry.
Okay. Anyway, basically, it's like this area. It's not a really like defined area, but basically they call it the Bennington Triangle, kind of like the Bermuda Triangle, because people disappear here. So, essentially, it's let's see. There's multiple towns that kind of are included in this area, but it's like centered on Glastonbury Mountain, which is a part of the, what is it called, like the Long Trail, in Vermont's Long Trail. It's like a hiking route in the mountains, so it's kind of like centered around this trail. But in the 1940s and like into 1950, there was like 5 or 6 people who disappeared here, and people who should not have disappeared, and people who should not have like lost their way hiking, things like that. So it's just like really weird occurrences. So we're kind of going to go through like the people who disappeared here. So,
Yes, I've definitely heard of this.
yeah. Okay, so yeah, between
My
1945
cousin-
and
oh.
1950, it was 5 people who disappeared.
My cousin has hiked that trail and tried to find the like spooky town that's
Yeah.
supposedly in there, but he didn't. I think something. Let me text him. Keep
Okay.
talking.
Yeah, there's like, because like I said, there's like a couple of different towns that are kind of like encompassed in this undefined triangle, quote unquote. And a couple of them used to be like logging towns, but their economy kind of died, and so now they're essentially ghost towns. But the first person to disappear was Mitty Rivers in, I cannot speak. I've been talking all day. they disappeared in 1945. And why does it not tell me whether Mitty Rivers was a man or a woman? I'm going to assume a man. Anyway, he was, we're going to call him he because I don't know.
Why
But
don't we
anyway.
just say they then? Just say they.
Yeah, okay. That works.
Yeah, just say they.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm dumb. I'm tired. Anyway.
What's the name again?
Mitty Rivers. Middie. It doesn't matter. But anyway, they were 74 years old, and they disappeared while they were out hunting, but they were guiding a group of hunters up the mountains. Basically, Rivers was an experience.
He was a man.
Okay, yeah, I assumed, but they were an experienced hunter and fisherman, and they were really familiar with the area. I mean, they were a local. So, and the fact that they were, like, guiding this other group of hunters up the mountain, like, they knew what they were doing. But, yeah, basically, he, like, got ahead of the other group and then just, like, disappeared, and no one ever saw him again, heard from him again. They did like an extensive search, and the only thing that they found was a single rifle cartridge that was found in a stream. So I mean, there's like a theory that he had like leaned over at some point and like the rifle cartridge had fallen out of his pocket into the stream, because it wasn't like near where he had supposedly disappeared. But yeah, that's the only thing that they ever found from him. They never found anything else. So he was the first disappearance. And then Paula Weldon was the second, and she's probably the most famous out of all of them, so I'll probably talk about her more. But she disappeared in 1946. She was 18. She was a sophomore at Bennington College, and basically she like got home. She worked on campus, I think in the food service, and she like got back from work and changed into hiking gear and then went out to go hiking on the Bennington Trail, or the Long Trail, sorry. A bunch of people saw her leave work, go get changed, saw her go to the trail and everything. And basically, from what everyone reports about her, it didn't seem like she was going to be gone for a long time. She was just going to go out for like a leisurely hike and then come back and everything like that. And yeah, because basically like the clothing that people saw her in would have been fine for just a quick little hike and all of that. And it wouldn't have worked if like it had gotten dark or anything and gotten cold. So, and again, she was an experienced hiker. She had walked this trail many times. So, by all reports, she wasn't supposed to be gone for very long. That's all. Anyway, she essentially, she was like walking off of campus and she like hitched a ride to get to the trail, which one, that's dangerous. Don't take rides from strangers. But
no, but it was like 1946, so
yeah,
like,
that was
it was
way more
simpler times.
Yeah,
maybe, but still don't do that. But yeah, so she like
Someone
hitchhiked.
from Vermont, yes, definitely hitchhike with them. If it was someone from New York, no, run into the woods, hide.
Yeah, so she like hitchhiked from campus to get to the trail. So there was a sighting of her and like a trail that like police could follow or whatever. of where she had been. And then as she was walking up the trail, a group of hikers was coming down, so they saw her. Apparently she stopped them, asked them a couple questions, and then kept going, and they left and all of that. And then basically she never came back, and nothing was ever found. There's a lot of basically Vermont didn't have a police force when she disappeared.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Typical Vermont.
Yeah,
like,
there was no
trying to eat our cheese.
There was no state police organization when she disappeared. And so, like, the investigation into her disappearance was very not good, essentially, because it was the state's attorney, the county sheriff, and the state investigator were the three people who were responsible for finding clues. And there was, like, it was just those three people. They had no one to help them or, like, do anything. Basically, they, like, did a bunch of interviews, figured out what vicinity she had been in. They never found any traces of her, like, nothing at all.
Maisie! Stop, bud. Maisie!
Anyway, so Paula Weldon, she was up on the trail, never came back, saw the group of hikers as they were coming down. She stopped and asked them questions. Apparently there was, like, a lumberjack who, like, lived along a road somewhere in the area, and he was, like, fighting with his girlfriend, and Paula, like, passed them at some point. Like, as this dude, like, stormed off from the fight with his girlfriend, so he, like, saw her, and then he became the prime suspect in her disappearance at one point because the dude was crazy, and he like, lied to police about, I don't know, a bunch of things, and he couldn't, like, prove his act.
I mean, I was just gonna say, he's probably, like, the last person to see her, too.
Yeah, that too, so. And then he couldn't, like, prove where he was that night, because essentially he just, like, got in his truck and, like, drove around the area.
Yeah.
But it, like, never went anywhere. They couldn't prove anything. Nothing was ever discovered about her. No body was ever found. There were no forensic clues. So basically, the investigation ended. It's still... nothing's ever been found, but because of her, there is now a Vermont police force, like, state police force.
Good.
Sick.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad that exists, but I don't like that they had to wait for somebody to go missing before it happened.
Also, it was 1946.
Yeah.
And it's Vermont. But yeah. They didn't have, like, an official, like, state police.
I would just like to say something if Vermont hasn't already done this. If they're not already called the Monties instead of the Mounties, they need to get on that. Thank you. That is my suggestion to you. It might be snowing and or raining outside, but I can't tell because it's pitch black.
It's like spitting here. It's really cold and windy.
I have a gale warning.
Hey, I have that too. Maybe? I don't know.
On the lake, specifically. It's just for the lake. Yeah.
I mean, it is Lake Superior. It's the worst.
I'm on Lake Michigan.
That's right. Chicago's Lake Michigan. Oh, I know geography. Look, my whole family lives on Lake Superior.
I know.
That's what I just assume.
If you do not get out of here, I'm going to rip out.
Anyway, let's keep talking about missing people in Vermont.
Anna's threatening her cat. Okay.
She's being very bad.
Anyway, okay. The one thing about Paula Weldon that, like, really irritated me is that when she disappeared, like, one of the leading theories for a while was that she ran away to Canada with her secret boyfriend.
Was there evidence of a secret boyfriend, or are they just pulling that out of their ass? Cool.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's no evidence of that. Like, if you're gonna run away to Canada with someone, like, wouldn't you take a few things?
Maybe. You think.
Like, I'm not saying you're gonna take your whole life, but, like, maybe a few things.
Yeah.
Other than, like...
Hiking gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, one outfit in the 40s? No.
Yeah.
No.
Excuse me, where are your hat and gloves? Like, I'm not talking, like, winter. I'm talking, like, going to the market hat and gloves.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you need those rollers for your hair, okay? You've got to have it perfectly coiffed.
Yes.
This is just reminding me of, it's not that similar, but more of Murray, because she went missing in New Hampshire, and she just up and vanished.
Yeah.
But her situation's a little bit different, but it just made me think of that.
Yeah.
New Hampshire's a weird place.
It is.
I go to school there.
But yeah, so that's kind of like the gist of her. In 1949, James Tedford disappeared. He was a veteran. He disappeared in December. Wait. Oh, wait. Okay, so he and Paula actually disappeared on the exact same day, just 3 years apart.
I don't like that.
No, exactly. Yeah, it was December 1st for Paula, it was 1946, and for James, it was 1949. But yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
This episode comes out December 2nd.
Oh, don't like that either.
Can I say something really quick?
Yes.
I just remembered this while walking over to my bedside stand. I told Shannon I took a nap today, and when I woke up, I, got out of bed and everything, and I was remaking my bed, and apparently I fell asleep on top of, one of the Hershey's Kisses that tried to murder me in the last episode. This time I just kind of, melted it into my bed a little bit with my hot butt.
Great.
I mean, worse things have happened.
It's better than choking, so...
Seriously.
Yeah.
Because that was bad.
Yeah.
I honestly thought I was going to wake up with, aspirational pneumonia. I was not
Please don't do that. But anyway, so James Tedford disappeared December 1st, 1949. He was in the area visiting relatives, and he lived in the town of Bennington. And so he got on a bus to return home to Bennington. And the stop right before Bennington, he was on the bus. They saw him on the bus. But when the bus arrived in Bennington, he was not there.
What?
Yeah. And all the other passengers were still on the bus. His luggage was still on the bus. And on his seat, there was an open bus timetable. And he's never been heard or seen from since.
Well,
Seen or heard from.
Did he just, climb into the ceiling or something? Where the hell did he go?
I don't know. It's the aliens.
Yeah.
Or as my friend Kyle likes to call them, the Allens.
Talk about bad pronunciations of things. Geez, I think he's got us beat on all those.
No, he's one of those people.
I know it's a joke, but still.
that we just all like to pronounce things wrong when we're together for some reason. It's like me, Kyle, and McCall. There was a apartment complex in Athens. That was the Carousel Apartments, and we always called them the Carousals.
Of course.
And then, a headache is a head atch. When you've arrived somewhere, you say, I have a rev-aid. I don't know.
You've
we
heard
just
Allison
say everything
say,
weird.
This is Allie specific. She says drankin instead of drank, and oh my god, it pisses me off so bad. I hate it so much.
Well, the one Southernism that I still have is
it,
I will say I haven't bought any yet, and bought is not a word, but
neither is drinking, but
but yeah, that one's, and I also will. The other Southernism is the double contractions, so
I do that all the time. Yeah.
Which people do speaking all the time, but I'll do it in writing, and then saying What's the other one? Oh, you would say, like, you might should do that. Putting that, like, might in there. I don't know. Apparently that's a Southern thing, but...
Yeah, that is.
And I'll say that all the time. Or, like, I might could have gone to the store.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just say
anyway.
and oil wrong, so it's fine.
See, my language is all kinds of messed up because, like I said, I had an Australian accent until I was 10 because we lived in Australia when I was a kid for a year. And then we moved to Florida after that, and everyone knows Florida's a disaster. And then after that, it was Louisiana. So then I got hecka Southern. And after Louisiana was Canada. So, like... yeah, I'm just all over the place, and my entire family is from Minnesota and Wisconsin, and so everything is just like, whatever accent comes out, I never know what's coming. Yeah.
It's so hard to go from those southern states to the northern states because you start off wrong, and then by the time you leave and go back to a southern state, you're like, I just don't know who I am as a person anymore.
Right? Like, every time I go down to Georgia to visit my friends, I'm like, I know you're speaking English, but I don't understand anymore. And then within, like, 30 minutes, all of a sudden, I'm the most Southern person there. So...
I wish I could do the New York that my family, or, like, my mom's side of the family is, like, that kind of New York.
Yeah.
It's just... I really can't explain it. It's very... It's something.
Yeah. All my family sounds like me, except I don't say "warsh," so.
Yeah.
And they all do. Extended family, anyway. Allie and I laugh at our mom about it because it's ridiculous. There's no R in wash. That's not necessary at all.
How did they say the name of the first president of the United States?
I don't think I've ever actually heard them say it, but I knew people in high school who said Washington.
There's no R.
I'm pretty sure the people who live across the street from me say Washington.
You mean my ex?
Because I know they say Warsh. What?
You mean my ex-boyfriend? Yes, they do.
Yes, I do mean them.
They also say Italian?
Look, I
that drove me up a damn wall.
They're very nice people. Their children are a little iffy, but they are...
No, they're very nice.
They're very nice.
They're very nice.
They're good people, and their son lives behind me. So, like, they live in front of me, and their son lives behind me, and I'm just...
Not the one I dated, a different son.
No, different one.
Yeah.
And... Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, we're from a very small town, okay?
Yep. Okay, Jasmine and I technically dated the same person, even though I only dated him for like 10 days, so I don't really count it. But still, Jasmine and I did technically date the same person. So.
Ew, I hate that.
Again, I don't count it because it's 10 days, but.
That person that you were just talking about, Shannon, is the only reason I passed calculus. I paid him in donuts to...
He was a smart person, but...
quote-unquote, help me with my homework.
Yeah.
Wait, which of the ones are we speaking of?
The one Jasmine and I both dated.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Remember when him and, trying to think of how to do this, Schmile Mitchell tried to ask us out to go see Twilight? Do you remember?
You're gonna have to bleep that last name because you did say his last name.
I don't care.
That was my gay
He
boyfriend.
works for SpaceX now.
He does. But Shelby, do you remember freshman year they tried to ask us to go see Twilight as like a double date, but they wouldn't say that it was a double date, but they were really obvious about it?
God.
Oh,
Look.
You know what movie I saw with that person?
Look,
that
everyone who liked me in high school is now gay, so I don't know what that says about me.
I don't know.
But also, I turned every single
Black
one of them
Swan
down.
with that person. Have you ever seen that movie?
No, but I know what it is.
That was incredibly embarrassing because we had both just turned 17, and so we're like, we're gonna go to a movie, and it was Black Swan, and there's like a part where one girl is eating out another girl, and it was like too much. We were very sheltered band children. We were like, what is happening?
Oh
Shelby, I was gonna say everybody who liked you is gay, or their last name is gay.
Oh my God, you're right. Oh.
Wow, we are just dragging Freeburg.
Do you remember when the one whose last name is gay, when we were at that, like, 5-year reunion?
I remember
And he got trashed and, like, announced to everyone. He was like, I was so scared of you, and I liked you so much, and blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, I know, but can we not?
Oh, man, that was so
Can we not
funny.
do this right now?
Oh, my God, that was fucking hysterical.
And I had to, like, tell the bartender, because I worked with her
we had to tell
when
her
we
to
worked
cut
at
him
the
off.
restaurant together. I had to tell her to cut him off.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, no, I'm fine. And it was like, bro, you can't even
honey,
walk.
you're not.
Like,
Hey, were you with me when I took all those drunk morons to Denny's?
Yes, I was.
At like 2 in the
God,
morning.
that was horrible. Oh,
So,
my God.
I'm
like,
sorry, was that
Shannon and I...
the one
You were-
party?
Yeah, I think you were there.
The Christmas party at the...
Schmott's
at
house.
Shannon, you suck at this game.
I was like, how do I say this without saying his name?
Yeah.
With
It doesn't
Little
matter.
Drummer Boy at Little Drummer Boy's house?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I was there, because that
yeah,
was
you
when...
were there.
That was when...
Did you go to the Denny's?
Yeah, I went to Denny's because
Yeah.
I was sitting there, and she
gotta bleep that
she had
out.
to
You
show
gotta
me
bleep
her
that out.
phone,
I will.
and then because her phone was like all cracked and she had made it rainbowy or whatever, and she was like, "Look at my phone, it's so pretty and like psychedelic, and it looks like a kaleidoscope, but I'm so stupid because I cracked my phone, and you're so pretty, and your phone's great, and it's not even cracked because you're not stupid." It was a really good time.
With Little Drummer Boy and
Oh
Smile,
god, that was the worst.
Smile Smith Hall.
You guys.
And
No,
I
because
was
that
like,
was the one where
Oh,
Smile tried to be like, hey, do you remember that time in high school when I asked you out? That was like, that was a good time. And I was like, you don't want to start this war with me, son. I know way too much
well,
about
and then
you.
He announced to everyone,
It is-
attention, I'm gay. We were like, yeah, we know.
Yeah, we know, but
we knew.
we know.
There's a reason I said no, okay?
We're going to have to cut a lot of this out.
Yeah.
But I just want
Yeah.
to take a step back to that party really quick. Shannon, do you remember when you had to slap Redhead Trombone across
I
the
do
face
remember
because
that, yeah.
he was about to do something incredibly dangerous and made you do it?
Yeah, that was fine.
It was so funny though because like
I
did it
actually
too, but
slapped
mine was
him.
like
So.
no, I know mine was like a little pat, and then you were basically I think you gave him a black eye. Like there was probably a handprint left on
If
his
I'd
face.
hit his eye, it probably would have been a black eye, but I didn't, so.
It was insane. You
Yeah.
slapped his face like how you knock on doors like a cop. I have seen this happen. Shannon has knocked on, because Shannon and I went canvassing together for Bernie Sanders.
We
Anyway,
did.
Shannon knocked on a door so hard once that the neighbor across the hall opened their door because they thought their door was being knocked on.
She does knock very assertively.
I know. I have to make
It's
sure.
very cop-like.
And then what? I think I asked you, like, how do I knock less hard? And you just said ring the doorbell.
Yeah, because he kept knocking. I was like, you can ring the doorbell.
Look, Shannon is not one for subtlety, okay?
No. I gotta make sure they can hear me. I don't know. That's just how I knock on doors.
Yeah, the neighbors could hear you.
I know.
To be fair, her mom is oblivious, and so if she didn't knock like that, her mom wouldn't hear it. Or her
Yeah.
sister.
Yeah. No, I could have just rung our actual doorbell, which wakes up everybody
Yeah,
in the county.
that's what
so.
normal people do.
Yeah.
Okay, but like I have
It's
a weird
fine.
thing with doorbells just because like I hated ours, so I never used a doorbell because ours was
On
so fucking
Shannon's
annoying.
old house, she had one of those, like, old-timey doorbells where you would, like, turn a
Okay.
little crank
It was like a
thingy.
physical bell, and it was annoying.
Yeah,
as hell.
and it
Make
was
a
the
recording of mine.
loudest thing on the planet, and it was my favorite thing to ring it every
Yeah,
time I went to
know.
her house. And
I'm gonna have to
Annoy
make
all
a
of her
recording
pets.
of mine and put it on Instagram.
I have a
'Cause
recording
I
of yours.
have of mine?
Yeah.
Oh, put it on Instagram.
Okay.
Mine's not a bell that you ring. Mine's like a gong that you ring.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Okay. What were we talking about?
Oh,
Bennington Triangle?
yeah.
Oh,
Somehow.
people that we know, people being gay. I don't know.
In more ways than one.
I can't
Denny's at
backtrack
2
that
a.m.
one.
Denny's at 2 a.m.
Oh God. I don't miss high school though, I have to say. It was horrible.
Look,
Speaking
we
of...
all lived in a trash town with trash people. That's all you need to know. Yeah. I only have 2 more victims, so we can get this done in under an hour if we
Victims
want.
of the mountain?
What?
You said 2 more victims.
For her story.
I know, but, like, they weren't necessarily murdered. Are they victims
No,
of the
but,
mountain,
like...
is what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Never mind.
2
I'll
more
shut up.
people.
Whatever.
I don't know what else would I call them.
2
That's
more
fair.
subjects.
This is English. We don't have words for practical things.
I know. I was literally looking through I have a lost in translation book, and I was trying to find a good Polish one. First of all, there were no Polish ones, so I was fucked over.
Yeah.
But we don't have any good words, it turns out.
We don't. We really don't. We have a very inefficient language, not gonna lie.
Can I just read one of them that I really love? It'll be super quick. It'll take me 2 seconds. It's so beautiful. It's an Arabic word. I have to find it real quick. I'm literally picking nail polish off with tweezers right now. Okay, here's my word. It's, I don't know how to say it, but it's Gurfa, Gurfa, and it is the amount of water that can be held in one hand. I just think that's such a cool word.
I mean,
Why
it
don't we have
is.
cool words.
I can't think of it off the top of my head, but Japanese has a word for the patterns that the shadows make on the ground when the sun is shining through leaves.
I love that so much.
That's,
And
hang on, I know that because in the new Sims
Yeah.
expansion pack, they named the town after
Yeah.
that. Hang on.
Okay, yeah.
Let me find
It's
it.
I don't know. It's
Is it
just like a really pretty
Komorebi?
concept. Komorebi?
I think. Maybe? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah. The new Sims pack is Japanese themed, so.
That's right. You sent me a picture of it. It's very pretty.
It's really pretty. Anyway.
Maybe I'll actually play Sims.
Well, the
won't.
actual, like, point of the pack is, like, snowboarding and shit, so I don't think you'd actually be that interested in that part. They just
Nope.
placed it in a Japanese, like, town. The actual
Yeah.
town is pretty.
Well, that's the only part I would care about.
Yeah, so. Anyway.
Anyway. Okay. Fourth. I'm gonna call him a victim because for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Okay. Was Paul Jeffson in 1950.
That sounds like a made-up name.
It kind of does.
It does.
But it was an 8-year-old who.
Oh, never mind. I take it back. Sorry.
So he was in the area with his mom, and his mom, for some unknown reason, because it's the 40s, I guess, or not 40s, it's 1950 now, but she left him unattended for about an hour while she went to go feed some pigs.
That took an hour?
Apparently. I don't know where she was feeding pigs or why she was feeding pigs. Maybe it was a farm that they owned. Maybe it was...
I would assume.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's all the information I have.
Wait, I'm sorry.
I
So
didn't
wait,
actually do
you may have
research.
said this and I missed it. Did they live there or were they just there, like visiting?
They lived there.
Okay, I missed that part. So
In the area, at least. I
Yeah.
didn't say that.
Okay, because in my head they were like visiting. I almost said tourist, but I knew you guys. See, I say tourist correctly, but I
You
can't.
do.
I don't say I say tour. I don't know. Anyway,
Tourist.
although sometimes I say tourist, but
Oh my god. Okay, anyway. So, Paul Jeffson, his mom left him unattended so she could go feed pigs. Don't know why. It's whatever.
it makes more sense
and-
now that I know that they're at their own home.
Yeah,
Before I
and,
thought they
mean,
were just hiking and she just abandoned him to go feed some pigs.
Well, see, like
Well,
I said,
okay.
the Bennington Triangle is kind of like this undefined area, but it includes like 5 towns.
Yeah.
me tell
Plus
you what
a
it's like
hiking
up there.
trail.
Yeah.
So there's mountains everywhere,
Yeah.
but they're little.
Yeah.
They're little mountains, and also in between the mountains are big flat valley areas where there's lots of farms.
Yeah.
So they probably lived on one of those, in like one of those flat parts if they had pigs, but then I bet like their backyard was literally a mountain.
Yeah.
So the kid probably
Excuse
just
me.
like went up the mountain while his mom wasn't looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, yeah, it doesn't really say anything about like where they were. It just says that he accompanied his mom in a truck. She left him unattended for an hour to feed pigs, and when she got back, he was gone.
Okay, so he probably just wandered off and got
So,
distracted.
yeah, I assume
He was 8 years
that it was like on a farm, but they had to like drive to wherever to feed the pigs.
Yeah.
And she probably like left him in the car or something, and it took longer than she thought, and when she got back he was gone.
Yeah.
Search parties were formed. They never found anything, but he had been wearing a bright red jacket, so like you would think that that would be easy to spot. But yeah, they never found anything. According to like local legend, stories or whatever, bloodhounds tracked him to a local highway, and it happens to be the same highway where Paula Weldon disappeared. But that's, again, not confirmed. It's kind of just like a local story. But a possible thing. And then Frida Langer was the last person to disappear, again, in 1950. And both her and Paul disappeared in October of 1950. Paul disappeared October 12th, and Frida Langer disappeared October 28th. So, she was 53, and she was camping in the Somerset Reservoir, which is, a spot in the local area, with her cousins. And she and one of her cousins left the rest of their family at the campsite to go on a hike. During the hike, Frida slipped and fell into a stream. And so she told her cousin that she was hiking with that if they would like sit there and wait for her, she'd go back to the campsite, change, and then she'd catch back up to him. And basically, her cousin, she never returned to him, so he was like, well, I guess I'll go back to the campsite, I don't know, whatever. And once he got there, she had never returned to the campsite. So he made it back. She had never returned. Again, they never found anything. For her, searches were conducted for like 2 weeks, including like helicopter searches. Lots of people. They never found any trace of her. But then on May 12th, 1951, they did find her body near the Somerset Reservoir where they had been camping, but it was in an area that had been searched many, many times when she had first disappeared. They couldn't determine any sort of cause of death because of the condition of her remains. And that was the only body of all of the people that disappeared that was ever found. There's no like direct connections between any of these disappearances that anyone can figure out other than the time period and the geographic area. But yeah, just the fact that like within 5 years 5 people disappeared, and then like it's not really happened since, and they all, besides Frida, they all disappeared with like no trace whatsoever, even though there were search parties, and I mean they all they were all experienced hikers or campers or hunters. They all knew the area.
Well, except for the child.
Yeah, I mean, besides the child. Yeah. But even then, like, he knew the area. He was in a bright red jacket. And then, like, I assume he lived there, so he knew it well enough.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's an 8-year-old, and 8-year-old boys do things. But, like, even then, it's, like, it's just weird. The one on the bus is the one that I find the weirdest.
I don't like that one.
And maybe, like, Paula Weldon's. But hers isn't, like, weird. Hers is more just more well-known because it's the reason that Vermont has a police force. But, yeah. The one on the bus is like the weirdest to me, but obviously because so many people disappeared within a short, relatively period of time, most people are like, it's the area, there's some sort of weird like glitch in the matrix here, or there's aliens, or I mean, it's all the theories that usually come with things like that. So
I do wonder, so just stick with me on this train of thought. So with the Bermuda Triangle, one of the claims for debunking the Bermuda Triangle is that the amount of disappearances within it are not actually any different than the like normal amount of disappearances outside of it, if that makes sense. Like, it's on par with, like, the rest of the ocean for how many disappearances there are. It's not special. We just, for some reason, focused in on it. Like, I'm wondering if that may also have happened here. Just because, like, I don't know, like, generally, what is the normal disappearance rate? You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah, and, like, my thing is...
Look it up.
Is that it's, like, it's a hiking trail. It's in the mountains. It's in Vermont.
Yeah, like people... I'm sure people
get
go missing
lost
all the time.
In the mountains hiking all the time, even experienced hikers. I don't wonder if it's just because it was like multiple people again within 5 years.
Yeah, but even then, like some of them, like the one dude vanished off of a fucking bus, and then the other kid was a kid. He wasn't hiking, he was just there. You know? Yeah. So like even then, we can't even say it was because they were hiking, because that didn't happen to two of them.
So I think it's partially that like there's just like weird things about each one.
Yeah, I mean they're all that weird kind disappearances for sure. Yeah,
that kind of make it like, oh, they didn't just like get lost in the woods and never found their way out. It's like weird little things.
Yeah,
but yeah, and I think that's kind of why people focused in on it. Plus, like no one thinks about Vermont.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Unless you're in a Hallmark movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just want to say something really quick.
Yeah.
I am on the Vermont Government Unsolved and Missing Persons website. There's another weird spike in the Burlington area of missing people. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Wow.
As opposed to like
Burlington or Bennington?
Yeah.
Burlington.
Okay.
Oh, right, Bennington.
Okay, so that's a different area then.
Yes.
I mean, but that's still.
But it's still.
There's
suspicious.
3 in the Bennington area. Wait. 1 in the Bennington area.
Okay, so.
Never mind. Burlington's a big city. Forget that I said that. I'll shut.
Okay. But that helps provide like context, I think, to my question of: is this a normal amount of disappearances, or is this actually weird? You know what I mean?
It's actually weird because.
Yeah.
Apparently it's not actually common for people to like disappear there, and like I don't even know what this hiking trail, the long trail, even really looks like, but people like, because when I was first looking at this, you know, an hour ago, people, I saw some comments on like a thread or whatever, and people nowadays say that they've hiked it and the entire trail, it feels like someone is watching you.
Yeah.
Which, people tend to say that about hiking trails where you're all alone and you're in the woods or the mountains.
Especially if you know
Mike
that people have
hiked
disappeared
it for
there.
Sure. I wish you would freaking answer my text. He told me a story a while ago about hiking it and how it was super creepy.
Yeah.
And I can't remember exactly what he said. But also, I looked up missing persons cases Vermont 1940, and Pinterest came up for some reason, and you know how Pinterest does whatever the fuck?
Yeah.
So it says, the Pinterest headline says, not headline, title
Caption.
says, 9 1904 missing children and missing persons ideas, Pinterest.
Ideas?
What?
Yeah, like why do I
need ideas?
Text on ideas, because it's always like, how to redo your dining room, and like, how to be a better housewife.
Okay.
But then, why does it say ideas?
Yeah.
I don't think I need ideas on that,
Yeah, I think
but
we're
thank
good.
you.
Yeah.
I don't.
Thank you.
I don't know. With these disappearances, I don't know, my mind always jumps to like maybe there was somebody living in the woods kidnapping people, which could account for a couple of them, but even then some of them it would not. So
Well, and part of it is because they weren't all, like, the same area within
exactly.
this area.
And they weren't the same,
I mean,
like, demographic. They didn't vanish the same way. Like, it's just random.
Yeah, it's super random, and as far as, like, again, like, demographics wise, it's completely and utterly random.
Yeah.
And no ties were ever found between any of them. Yeah. So, I mean, it's weird for sure. I'm not sure there's any sort of explanation other than they disappeared and no one's ever figured out where they went or what happened. And
It's
quite frankly, it's the wilderness at that point, so they could have been eaten. But
yeah, who knows? But weird.
It's so weird that you did this today because right before start recording, I was just watching the Missing 411 documentary on Hulu.
Yeah.
Which is very similar.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's about, like, missing persons in national parks, but it's...
Yeah.
It's
so
similar.
Weird and creepy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I was, like, looking for something that was, like, bizarre or weird or something that, like, I haven't heard every podcast talk about before.
Yeah.
And, like, I've heard about people missing in national parks and stuff like that. Like, that happens all the time. Or, like, the Appalachian Trail. But this one I was like, no one thinks about Vermont.
That's where I broke my butt.
I mean, Vermont. Look, not all of us are you, Hannah. Also, I'm sorry to anyone who's listening from Vermont. There's probably none of you, but...
I'm going to move there one day. You are the most beautiful state. You have the best cheese and
I think Vermont is
politics.
Beautiful. I just always forget it exists. Unless I'm watching a Hallmark movie.
I'll never forget you, Vermont.
And that's all I got for you. What?
I'm checking our stats to see if we have any listeners from Vermont, and we had a whole bunch of... Somebody is, like, catching up on our stuff today, because we just jumped up a lot today.
Oh, wow.
It might be Morgan.
Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Because I can't remember if we have anybody in Vermont or not. We've had Morgan's one download total, so I don't think we need to worry about Vermont.
Cool.
Yeah.
You know what, Vermont? I'm going to worry about you because I love you. You gave us Bernie Sanders. You are so cute, and I love your mountains and your...
How did we get... oh, yeah.
Mox Market. God, that place.
Let me find it.
Also, random, since we're talking about people listening, I want to give a quick little shout out to my friend, Brandy, aka Brandon, because he always tells me that he still listens to our podcast, and he thinks it's so great that we get to hang out like this.
Yay.
And he's great. Yes. He's an awesome person.
None of my friends other than, like, you guys or my
He's also the one that, like, when we did our first episode, he gave us, like, the feedback on stuff. Yeah. And the one who, like, asked if he could listen while he streams and stuff.
Yeah.
He's a really good guy.
Yeah.
We worked together seasonally last year.
There you go. Yeah, I have...
That's all I got.
None of my friends are...
I'm so tired.
So...
I know, it's 10 o'clock here, so let's
okay. Wrap this shit up. Well, we had worked on an ending, but I don't think we actually decided on one.
The ending is don't work retail during Black Friday weekends.
There you go. Okay.
And maybe you will be better prepared for life than us.
There you go. Okay.
Also, I think our ending should just be Hannah burping at this point.
I didn't mean to.
That's okay.
I really hope my power goes out.
I hope it does too.
Yeah, for your sake, I hope it does.
All right.
Okay.
We gotta go.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, bye. I've stopped recording. No, I didn't. I pressed. Thanks for listening to The Triad. Our music is by Scott Buckley. Our audio is recorded by our sound engineers, Craig Bott and Audrey Credo.
If you like the show, please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Tumblr as The Triad Podcast. Our website is thetriadpodcast.wordpress.com. There, you can find information about our latest episode, including the show notes and sources.
We're also on Patreon as The Triad. Currently, all Patreon funds will go towards the cost of hosting the show. Each tier has its own rewards, but every patron receives our undying gratitude. Do you have comments, questions, or stories? Email us at thetriadpod@gmail.com. And thank you again for listening to The Triad, where we're spooky but sensitive.